What if I told you one of Hollywood's kindest looking stars once threatened to do something so vile to a coworker's wig it ended up shattering her entire reputation? It sounds like a scene from a movie, but for the staff behind the scenes, it was a living nightmare. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 sweetheart celebrities who are reportedly anything but kind when the cameras stop rolling. We're counting down the stars whose reputations aren't what they seem, and you'll want to stay until the very end. Our #1 spot features an Oscar winner whose rage-filled meltdown was so epic the leaked audio reportedly left a staff member with a diagnosis of PTSD. Let's dive in. Coming in at number 10 is Ellen DeGeneres, the Be Kind icon whose staff allegedly had an unspoken rule: don't make eye contact with her. For nearly 20 years, her friendly daytime show was a global phenomenon. But in 2020, former employees described a toxic work environment filled with fear, intimidation, and racial insensitivity. A BuzzFeed expose painted her as the out-of-touch leader of a deeply unhappy ship. The scandal led to an on-air apology and her show ending soon after, leaving a permanent stain on her once sparkling legacy. At number 9 is the cheerful carpool karaoke host James Corden, who was called the most abusive customer in a famous NYC restaurant's 25-year history. The restaurant's owner claimed Corden yelled at staff because his wife's egg yolk omelet had a tiny speck of egg white in it. This wasn't an isolated incident. One TV director called him the most difficult and obnoxious presenter he'd ever worked with. Corden later admitted on his show that he'd made a rude comment and apologized, but for many, it just confirmed the rumors. At number 8 is America's sweetheart Julia Roberts, who was allegedly nicknamed Tinker Hell by the frustrated crew on the set of the movie Hook. Reports claimed even director Steven Spielberg grew tired of her demanding and difficult behavior during the 1991 production. Years later, Roberts admitted she could come across as harsh on set to avoid being taken advantage of. Still, tales of friction with co-stars like Hugh Grant have followed her for years, suggesting that sweetheart persona might just be for the cameras. Number 7 is comedy genius Mike Myers, who was rumored to have a crew member fired from Austin Powers for simply making eye contact with him. On the set of Wayne's World, director Penelope Spheris said she had to walk on eggshells around the fragile star. His Cat in the Hat co-star, Amy Hill, called the production a horrible, nightmarish experience, claiming Myers was a diva who refused to interact with anyone.
We're only halfway through. Coming up, one of these sweethearts allegedly made their Glee co-star's life a living hell. Any guesses who? Let's keep going. In our 6th spot is Katherine Heigl, the rom-com star whose career stalled after she was branded difficult for criticizing her own projects. It started when she called her hit movie Knocked Up a little sexist. She then pulled her name from Emmy consideration for Grey's Anatomy, stating she wasn't given the material to warrant a nomination, a public slap in the face to the show's writers. Though many today, including former co-star Ellen Pompeo, say she was just ahead of her time, the label ungrateful has been hard to shake. At number 5 is Glee star Lea Michele, whose squeaky clean image was shattered when a co-star claimed Michele threatened to shit in her wig. In 2020, actress Samantha Ware, who is Black, said Michele made her first TV gig a living hell with traumatic microaggressions. Soon after, other cast members backed up claims that Michele was rude, made people wait for her, and was generally awful to work with. Michele eventually issued a public apology, but the damage was done. Number 4 is sweetheart Jessica Alba, whose own Dark Angel co-star Jensen Ackles flat out said she was horrible to work with. He described their on-set relationship as constant bickering, like a brother and sister who couldn't stand each other. Reports from the set of the show that made her a star described a tense atmosphere where she was prone to outbursts. It seems that while she was playing a super soldier on screen, the environment behind the scenes was its own kind of battle zone.
Coming in at number 3 is Shameless star Emmy Rossum, whose on-screen little sister said working with her caused very anxious days on set. Actress Emma Kenny, who was a child when the show began, revealed that if she had a bad day, she made it a bad day for everybody. Kenny also described feeling like she was in a weird competition with her older co-star. This paints a complicated picture of the same actress who famously fought for and won equal pay on the show. And wait until you see number 1. His on-set tirade was so intense, his own publicist said he needed years of therapy to recover. At number 2 is the ever-charming Zachary Levi, who's the subject of a growing whisper campaign that he's a bit of a nightmare to work with. Unlike others on this list, these are unverified rumors and far less substantiated. One unconfirmed source alleged Levi became bitter after Shazam didn't launch him into the same stratosphere as stars like Chris Evans or The Rock. These whispers stand in stark contrast to the super nice guy, fan-friendly energy he's famous for. Finally, at number 1, the actor whose intensity is as legendary as his talent, Christian Bale. Bale is famous for his incredible transformations, but infamous for an audio recording that leaked from the set of Terminator Salvation in 2008. In the clip, Bale can be heard absolutely tearing into the director of photography with a curse-filled tirade for accidentally walking into his eye line during a scene.
Kick your fucking ass! I want you off the set, you
I'm sorry.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for one second. The are you doing? Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
Years later, his former publicist wrote a tell-all book claiming his therapist diagnosed him with PTSD caused by the stress of working for the actor. From daytime TV queens to Oscar-winning actors, these stories show that the sweetheart image we see on screen can be very different from the reality on set. We fall for the charming characters, but behind the scenes, the pressure of fame can create a much darker picture. Which of these stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest secrets.